I don't know. What was
that
the
you'll
reason of
know.
the
I
14
don't know that we'll
hours? I
know.
don't get it. And why start before the midnight at 10 o'clock to get the app gone by, like, why? Why was that all happening? Right? So I don't know. It's interesting. But it also shows the power of TikTok, and it also shows the power of, is everything true or not? There has been so much click and tell this week. So much has happened in social media, and we have to break it down because it's affected you and me. It's affected everyone that's been on the show. It's the world of social media.
It's one of those weeks that's already felt like a year. You know what I'm saying? So much happening out there. So this is a little bit of a bonus. Yeah, we're going to disagree immediately already. This is a little bit of a bonus episode.
Right.
I'm calling it Click and Tell Me More.
Click and tell me more.
Click and tell me more.
I like to call it click and tell extra.
Click and tell.
The extra component?
Yeah.
No, the click and tell of the week.
Click and tell of the week.
That's it. That's what I like.
I mean, well, I like the idea of letting them decide.
Yeah, because one of the things we've learned is the power of social media, especially with our guests that have been on. And recently we had someone very special who talked about the fact that she used TikTok in a way to market her music, and that's how we discovered her, and she's really pushed that. And then TikTok in the U.S. decided to go down because after years and years of saying, you know, information is being released to China and all of that stuff, it goes down for 14 hours on January 19, 2025, and it comes back up.
14 hours later. So, yeah, this was obviously a really big deal for a lot of people because for them, it's either their number one way of getting entertainment or they've built a business around TikTok. It's how they've built community. Obviously, wonderful things to be able to share your gifts online and have people enjoy that. And it's been looming. It's been looming for years. People have been talking about it on and off for a while. And with it pending, like just the other day, you could see if you logged on from your American accounts that you follow or people that create that are from the U.S., a lot of the goodbye TikToks.
People are revealing the truth.
Well, so it's the two things, right?
Yeah.
It's people being like, if I could stand up, I would do it. But you know, they set the camera up and they're saying goodbye. I've loved this. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Or they did it in a very cinematic way where they're like literally packing up things and getting ready to go. And the other side of it is like you just said, the truth coming out.
Yeah, we got to tell you something. Like there's one, I can't remember the account, but like, this is not really my mother. She's playing the role of my mother. And just all of the people are just revealing the truth. I'm like, no, don't do that. Keep the secret. But it was an interesting time. I did go on TikTok during those 14 hours to see how people were reacting. And a lot of Canadians are like, hello? Is everyone okay? And just a very calm world of TikTok. It was very interesting how people were reacting to it.
Yeah, given, I think, the span of time that it was down for, you would see a lot of reports across TikTok and other apps as well talking about how it's down. But in my experience on my, For You page, I still saw the people who I saw. Okay. From the U.S. because maybe I hadn't seen their stuff from the other day or whatever. It was just catching up in my algorithm. So the whole joke about the international audience being like, the loud kids are gone. Yeah, You've all seen that one where it feels like the loud kids didn't come to school today. I didn't feel that for real because all the people who I whatever, were still, had been active just a couple of hours before. But then the flip of when I'm really curious about the creators who were like, okay, this is the truth about what it was. I wasn't really doing this, or I have a stylist. I didn't do all this myself. Now what? Now what do you do?
How do you take it back?
That's the adventure I want to go on now.
But that could be a whole new storyline too, right? And I don't know. How do you rebuild yourself on that? But then everybody also went to Red Note to kind of see what would happen there. And that was fascinating too, because I felt like people in the U.S. were finding fun ways to say goodbye, and they were learning songs, they were learning about Red Note and talking about how they, exploring that world and leaving TikTok. And so it was interesting how people handle it. Some people were crying, some people were just making jokes about it and just trying other ways to put their content out. So that was interesting as well.
But then if you said a big goodbye, and then now you're like, I guess we're not going anywhere?
Yeah, you come back.
What is it? I haven't yet seen that arc yet from a creator, just because I haven't really been on it today, to be fair. Yeah. But the creator that I saw say goodbye and then have to come back and be like, okay, I guess we're here. I guess we're here now.
Yeah, how do you get back to it? And I noticed also there was this whole conversation about people from TikTok going to Instagram and people who don't really explore Instagram, the younger generation.
Yeah.
I mean, we do. We love Instagram as our number one. I'm assuming you too, right? And then,
50-50,
so,
really.
you know, for them, it's just exploring another world of social media and building that as well. So maybe they'll continue that journey. I don't know. And then the inauguration happens. So the people, when they went to log on to TikTok while the ban was happening, it said, we are fortunate that President Trump had indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. So this happened even before he took office. And so what I've learned is that Trump really does, President Trump, I said it.
Yeah.
Loves TikTok. He saw the power of TikTok through all of the election. So he's the one who started this whole thing many, many years ago, and President Biden continued it.
The whole thing of like banning it.
Yeah. And then he realized the power of it. And so it's interesting how that's going to reflect with him becoming the president, working with Elon Musk, working with what's the CEO of TikTok, and, you know, just what does that conversation now mean for people who are on social media, who really does have control of what your narrative is?
I find it really interesting, the reaction to the news. People have all of the theories about why it was going down, and
I still don't know
what it really means. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. What was the reason of the 14 hours? I don't get it. And why start before the midnight at 10 o'clock to get the app gone by? Like, why? Why was that all happening? Right? So I don't know. It's interesting, but it also shows the power of TikTok, and it also shows the power of, is everything true or not? And I hope that's the learning lesson from here. Like you were saying, some of these people came out with their truth, and it's not really.
You mean in terms of like when you're watching a creator?
Creator, not even creator, but the politics of the algorithm that's speaking to you. Like, is there certain things that are being pushed towards you to believe in it, right? Like there's new agendas that are being pushed now, and we just have to be more aware of what's being fed. Like most of the videos that come to me are about dogs. Yeah. Dogs and fitness, right? But when I do get some of those videos of talking about what's happening in the world, I have to be wary of it.
Yeah. I think that a lot of people would talk about TikTok, younger generation, as a place of community for them. Like the other apps weren't for them, for older people, or maybe when they started getting on this app, it felt like it's a generational shift. And when it became popular, that would be the joke of the sort of generational divide of older people being like, I don't understand TikTok, until they got on it and they started doing their things and having fun, and or maybe trying to sell things or whatever it is. So obviously when you have something taken away from you that feels like it was yours, it's going to sting, it's going to hurt. And there's obviously lots of people too that used it as a place for, to find community, whether it was with your art or your team, your sports team, or even with politics, and discussing what matters to you in a way that they felt was more free. Because there were differences in the algorithm between TikTok and Instagram or X. You would find things, people knew this and really felt this, they would find things that were more catered to them. I think that's, which is kind of why, when Reel started, Meta was like, we got to get our algorithm going to kind of match TikTok's algorithm, right? Listen, I don't know the inner works. I don't work for any of these people. I don't work for any of the companies, so I don't know the inner workings of what those meetings were like, or how they decided they wanted to do this, that, and that thing. This is just all sort of just like,
here's a good example.
Hearing what people are talking about.
This is a simple example. I got an algorithm. I saw a video of how you can use shampoo from the drugstores. For the longest time, I've been told don't use shampoos from drugstores. It's not good for your hair. Yeah. And then once I saw that video, all I'm getting is feedback of why it's okay to use drugstore shampoo. Yeah. Guess what I did? Because it's way cheaper, I went to the drugstore and I bought shampoo from the drugstore. So now I'm using drugstore shampoo again, which I haven't done in like 15, 20 years. But I don't know if it's true or not, but I was influenced in such a strong way. Influenced by the algorithm to go buy drugstore shampoo because it's apparently good for you. It's fine. Yeah. And I'm saving like $40 per bottle. So I was like,
have anyone in your life ever been like, this thing is the exact same thing as this thing. They just market it. This is what it's like in my house. Yeah. When one of my kids is like, hey, I heard this thing is really great. It costs this much money. It's more expensive. I'm like, yeah, but it's the exact same thing as this thing that costs like a quarter of the price. Did you know that? Look at what's inside. This is just how it's marketed to you. You have been influenced by factors beyond your control to want a thing that doesn't warrant your spending, I guess. Yeah, because there's another version of it.
Fair enough, but it just shows how simple it is to get me influenced. Anyone could get when some of those
a brisket sandwich.
Exactly. And if I'm feeding that all the time on TikTok, so I don't know. How do you become aware of what you're listening to and what you're taking in?
Have you been influenced to get a brisket sandwich yet?
No, not yet. They ate a brisket sandwich. That's different. If it was on TikTok and if I was watching it, I'd probably go get a brisket sandwich.
That's what I should have done today. I should have made a TikTok about that brisket sandwich.
Exactly.
But in secret. And then you would have been like, guys, I think I'm going to get a brisket sandwich.
Yeah. So let's see what happens. I mean, TikTok is back for everybody and anybody. And with now the new president, let's see what happens as well. And listen, I'm sure we'll be talking about this a lot.
My underlining statement is, let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
What do you do? What else? What do you got?
Yeah, I know. You know? Okay, I'm just going to go on TikTok now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's see what's going on. Let's see my first post. Let's see what the first post I get. Hold on. Let's see. Let me just start opening TikTok.
So you're saying, generally speaking, your For You page is hair stuff. It's mostly hair.
It's some reason it's about cars now.
Ooh.
Did we talk about cars?
Not today.
Yeah, we did. We just talked about cars, didn't we?
Oh, we did.
We were talking. That's hilarious.
And that's not that's also not a new thing.
I'm
a little bit. There are a few trends when we talk about like big tech and being spied on and stuff that I don't say I'm over, because I think it's important, obviously, to be aware of what's happening and how your data is being used. Everybody, be aware, be media literate. But it's not a surprise anymore to me that if I was talking about brisket sandwiches, at some point today, when I open up an app, there's going to be something about a brisket sandwich. And can you imagine if the video is actually someone eating a brisket sandwich in their car? I would be like, what?
What is going on?
What?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Question. What is your favorite social media app?
My favorite social media app. I use them for different things.
But if you could pick one.
I do like TikTok. I'm not going to lie. Okay. It's the one that I have most fun on.
Okay.
It's one that like when I open it up and I'm like,
you're having a good time.
I want to actually feel like not mad at something.
Yeah.
Like that's the one.
Yeah.
Like it'll give me the thing about the cars, because I do like cars. I'm not going to lie. I was the moment you were like, hey, a car video came up, I was like, oh, what was it?
Yeah, no.
What was the car?
Car came up. Yeah.
Is YouTube considered social media also? Because if so, then maybe that.
Yeah, YouTube. I was going to say YouTube. TikTok too, because you're right, because it does play with all the different emotions, and you're right. It could be fun, it could be sad, it could be a bit of everything. And
you know what we do at the end of the day? It's like always a ritual in my house, because you know how your kids will always kind of want to stay up later at a certain age. Like my kids are so young. Dad, I want to stay up a little bit later, half an hour later, an hour later. My daughter is clever. She never says, "Oh, can I stay up later?" She goes, "Dad, do you think we can find some funny videos?"
And that's it.
We find some funny videos, and guess what? We're down the rabbit hole. We're gone. 2 hours later.
2 hours later. Yeah.
But we find some good stuff, man.
I know.
And so we enjoy it. That's what we enjoy.
Well, TikTok is back, guys, for everybody.
I mean, was it ever really gone?
14 hours. That's a big deal.
That's as long as it takes sometimes to just like to be at an airport and fly in a plane somewhere. Yeah. Imagine that. If you're going from here in Toronto to Tokyo, you put down your phone and TikTok was gone for 14 hours. And you got off the plane and it came back. This is not a good analogy.
No.
I'm not even sure
if I can I could get Wi-Fi on the plane and watch TikTok for 14 hours.
And I don't know about the situation. I don't know. I've never really tried to use TikTok in Japan before.
No.
So, but you guys get what I mean, right? Like you could put it down for 14 hours, or can you?
Can you? That's the question. That is the question. I could do it.
Challenge.
Yeah, it's a challenge. Not today. Why am I challenging you today?
Well, I'm not saying it's got to happen today. I'm saying at some point I'm going to do a challenge with you. Yeah. I'm going to be like, all right, because you can look at the screen time of the day. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what's TikTok today on the inauguration day. What you'll be getting and what I will be getting.
You know, it will be very interesting.
We'll see what happens.
Okay, so this is what I'm super curious about. So leading up to the 14-hour shutdown, we'll call it, like the 14-hour shutdown of the app, a lot of talk among people was like, you know, we talk about freedom of expression and freedom of speech. And for a lot of people, that was a place that you could gather where you felt like whatever your opinion was, you could kind of say it and you could communicate. And I wonder if it'll be more guided now, right? Like if certain voices will not come up in my For You page because of the new situation, whatever that is. That's what I'm curious about.
Why the 14 hours? I'm so curious.
Like
I love conspiracy theories, but I'm just curious why.
What's your conspiracy theory?
There's so many.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
There's so many. I just feel like right now TikTok is being bought by Meta. Meta's going to own everything, and every speech that we say, a word that we say is going to be through Meta now. All that, and Elon Musk. There's so many theories, but who controls the narrative? Who controls our voice?
Listen, man. It's a wild world out there.
Yeah, I'll just keep watching dog videos.
Pick up 1984. Give it a read.
That's right. I'm gonna do it.
Give it a read. That's what I'm saying.
All right, man.
So yeah, let us know what you thought about the whole 14-hour shutdown. I mean, obviously there's a lot going on in the world that we got to focus on, that everybody's got to pay attention to. But I'm glad that you spent some time with us here for Click and Tell Me More, which is what I've been calling it.
Click and Tell of the Week, I think, is such a better name. So make your vote whatever you think it should be. And also catch our latest episodes, because some of these conversation has been, actually, I'm going to say mind-blowing for both of us. I think we've been doing this for years and years, and some of the conversations we've had has taught us a lot. And so we thank them for being here and giving their moments with us. So, check out our interview with Forrest Black. Very emotional. Yeah. And, we heard back from him that he had a great time, and he was very open to his journey with us. So it was great. Yeah, we got a new episode every single Wednesday. Get us wherever you get your podcast, and watch us on YouTube. And, I'm not doing all this makeup for nothing. So, get on YouTube. I have his tutorial if you want to see it. It'll be on TikTok. It's not a lot. I'm learning. Thanks for watching. You have the best hair, though. Thank you. Oh. It's that store-bought conditioner. It's that. I've never